know, people are watching, not just because of one person. All right, but they're watching because of me too. Me too. They're playing at LSU. There are people right now, her fans. You know what? Her social media fans.
In the meantime, Caitlin Clark returned like Beyoncé on tour, selling out a 15,000-seat arena in Brazil, Iowa, with fans spending $670 simply to be close to her. Angel Reese attempted to organize a party, but neglected to invite the public, leaving vacant seats, low pricing, and still no attendees. Indeed, the Caitlin Clark effect has returned, and it's more significant than your uncle's midlife crisis. Corvette, hold on tight. This level up is so insane that Angel's scoreboard didn't appear.
The Chicago Sky went to LSU and played in a half-empty building. They not only had Angel Reese, they also had Haley Van Lith. They had two players from LSU, but one, largely Angel Reese, who is supposedly so unbelievably beloved in Baton Rouge that you would think that her return to LSU would fill the building.
As soon as Caitlin Clark returns, a fan thermometer she breathes close to a court takes the place of every scoreboard in the women's basketball universe, and the venue sells out prior to her exhaling. On the opposite side of the basketball coin, by coin we mean the cardboard token you receive at an arcade when the machine breaks, we have in a desperate attempt to outdo the attendance of a third-grade recital. Angel Reese's preseason game didn't work out.
Here with you guys today, Angel Reese. Girl, you're my angel, you're my darling. Folks, the Chicago Sky Game 1 of the preseason was underway last night. Angel Reese looked pretty good, but we're gonna get into that momentarily. On the negative side, Angel Reese fans, LSU fans, all of you who tell us, oh my God, what a big superstar.
Yes, the confrontation that wasn't Angel with the attitude of someone anticipating a red carpet. Reese entered her preseason debut only to discover that the carpet had been rolled back up and used as. At this point, Angel could have added a meet and greet, a selfie, and a complimentary dinner, but people would still prefer to spend their evening stuck in traffic. The best part was that they were practically giving away those tickets, which could have been purchased for a seat with 2 buttons and a juice box, and they still had leftovers.
I've tried to tell you guys, you heard me say it on this channel. A lot of Angel Reese fans are not basketball fans, and they are proving it. They proved it last night without a shadow of a doubt. That was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen. You might be like, well, Rhodes, what was so embarrassing?
The woman could hold a pickup game in a cornfield and have ESPN broadcasted during prime time. When Caitlin Clark returned to Iowa to play Brazil, it wasn't just a game. It was an occasion. Oh, she sneezes, and Iowa fans construct a stadium around the tissue. Pope receives fewer visitors. For comparison, the lowest ticket price was $670, which is about the cost of a kidney in the underground market, but people gladly paid it. Some fans chose to wait outside the arena like it was Woodstock in the hopes of hearing her dribble bounce through the concrete, but I don't want to.
I don't want to hear ever again anyone ever tell me that there's anyone that's like Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. I don't ever want to hear it again. Nobody. There is nobody like her. I'm not glazing her. I'm telling the truth. I'm not blowing her. I'm telling the truth. She drew over 16,000 people to watch her team play the Brazilian national team at Iowa. Tickets were going for over $600 per the broadcast on the third-party market. The tickets sold out in the blink of an eye. People keep telling us there are other people in the WNBA who have made it matter. People keep telling us there are other players who are so very, very...
One player is basically basketball's Coachella, and the other is a local garage band that is still attempting to persuade the Applebee's management to allow them to play during happy hour. Angel Reese's preseason game was so poorly attended that you could have held a family reunion in the bleachers and still had space for a dance floor. Someone even attempted to start a wave, but there was no one to pass it to, so they ended up doing a solo arm stretch. And let's not forget about the phenomenon known as the priceless Caitlin Clark effect, which is more powerful than gravity at this point. Recall how she crowded every arena during her college career like it was the Super Bowl, except that it was only Tuesday night against Wisconsin. Yes, that's not fading. It's evolving now, about sharing a zip code with her. It's about being close to excellence. Angel is hopeful that someone at Target will recognize her in the meanwhile.
Was so embarrassing. What was so embarrassing? How about this? Caitlin Clark Soldier. Go follow. Right here. This was last night's attendance. 6,373 fans showed up to watch Angel Reese and Hailey Van Lith. And by the way, she did get a very good pop.
People literally set up camp outside the arena for days to watch Caitlin Clark play against Brazil of all teams. A team that, let's face it, the majority of the audience couldn't locate on a map, even if you gave them a globe and a highlighter. But did anyone care? It could have been Brazil, Belarus, or the Dancing with the Stars cast. As long as Clark was playing, the court was selling out faster than A performance by Taylor Swift The Arena would still have been packed to capacity even if Caitlin had faced 5 of those inflatable tube men from a car dealership. You know, the ones flailing like they're being electrocuted. And one fan even acknowledged that she had purchased a ticket in order to hear her sneakers squeaking on the hardwood floor. Not for a highlight reel, not for the buzzer beaters, just the squeak. This isn't just a basketball game anymore. It's not even a sporting event. It's a cultural phenomenon. By transforming warm-ups into must-watch television, Caitlin Clark is not only altering the rules of the sport, but also changing the game itself. She became the level instead of leveling up.
So I think it's time to finally, end the argument. End the argument that there is any sort of, other needle mover that is even remotely close to Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. And again, the reason why we've got Hailey Van Lith up is because it was Hailey Van Lith's return as well as Angel Reese's return. Angel was not the only person. They had 2 players returning. However, right now in Carver, there are no tickets left for under $200.
This isn't Paris Fashion Week. It's the WNBA, not the WNBeyonce, and the hardwood doesn't give a damn about your glam squad or how many costume changes you managed to fit in before halftime. Here's Angel walking around as if the court were just an extension of her TikTok feed and Fashion Week runway, sweetie. Fans would browse Instagram or watch a replay of America's Next Top Model if they wanted to watch someone pout and pose. They came to watch Caitlin Clark drop dimes, sink logo threes, and nonchalantly scorch defenders with the kind of accuracy typically reserved for. You'd think that standing in a largely empty arena while Clark performs for a sold-out audience that is loud enough to register on the art here scale would have given Angel a hint that she delivers buckets for Navy snipers. But nope, Angel doesn't. Reese continues to act as though she is the lead in a coming-of-age sports story, but it is more akin to love and bench ball than love and basketball.
Transcendent, oh my goodness, generational, oh my goodness, so on and so forth. You guys do all the talking, all the yapping, Twitter fingers turn to can't even show up and buy ticket fingers. Angel Reese going home to her alma mater, LSU, plays against the Brazilian national team in front of 6,373 people. 6,373 people. This is an arena that holds 13,000 people. We have a CBA negotiation.
Right, so let's run it back. This is the line. This is Scott Agnes. He put pictures up. This is the line from outside the arena to get in for this game. People were, and Caitlin Clark pointed this out in an interview with Holly Rowe, people were tailgating out there like it was the NFL to get in to this arena. We've got more on that. There's Caitlin Clark right there.
This is a low-budget independent film that debuted at a forgotten film festival, received a 9% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and made less money than a third grader selling lemonade on while Angel is still waiting for someone to purchase a ticket to her cinematic disaster. Caitlin Clark is acting as though she has the support of Marvel and is the main attraction at the biggest box office smash of the summer. Let's face it, if ticket prices are low enough to compete with vending machine snacks and no one shows up, that's not a preseason game. Rather, it's a courteously attended rehearsal for disappointment, and you could almost hear the arena murmuring, "Where's everyone?" As Caitlin Clark supporters were using basketball jerseys to recreate Beatlemania, picture these followers arriving at Angel's game in groups of 5, not 5 buses, 5 individuals. One was a janitor, 2 were. When Clark returns, there's a rush outside the arena as if Beyoncé and Taylor Swift formed a supergroup and decided to play halftime. Parents who believed this was a high school recital were confused and only needed directions.
Is completely sold out. This is what the arena looked like last night to watch LSU. They didn't open the upper bowl. They did not open the upper bowl, and the lower bowl was half empty. It was at under 50% capacity. And obviously, look, the area of the crowd where the TV cameras are being shown was full. But it was under 50% capacity.
To Angel's credit, now the discussion eventually moves from potential to performance. And no, this isn't about statistics or how many double-doubles you can fit into a highlight reel. Rather, it's about pulling the strings. No, let's not, because there's a limit to how many participation trophies we can give out before it turns into a full-blown pity parade kind that grabs attention, boosts ticket sales, and gets people in seats. Caitlin Clark is not just on the court. She is the court itself. She is a walking, dribbling celestial body with her own orbit, and ESPN could reroute satellites around her Angel. She does more than simply play the game. She moves it and bends the arena's attention like gravity. She has the attraction of an unplugged magnet resting in a junk drawer. It's not that she lacks talent. Rather, talent without traction is really a warm-up performance. Let's talk about ticket costs. The cheapest resale tickets for Caitlin were brushing up near $700. Individuals were trading valuable baseball cards from deceased people, skipping rent, and mortgaging their futures. Family members to see her perform layups while sitting in the rafters.
Caitlin Clark is just different from everyone else, and anyone saying otherwise is lying to themselves. You see it on display as she was finally back on the basketball court. It has been a long time.
However, Angel's game tickets were so inexpensive that you could have won a front row seat with a half-stamped Subway punch card and a wink, and still the arenas echoed like a food lion left unattended. The only thing more empty than the seats was the energy. So yeah, potential is cute, but pull is currency, and Caitlin is printing it while Angel is still searching for the ATM. What does Caitlin do when she hits the court? She doesn't just play basketball. She conducts a full-blown symphony of Kyo's swagger and accuracy from the moment she sets foot on the hardwood. Every dribble is a drum beat, every pass is a note, and every three-pointer is the crescendo. The building is already bouncing like it's the Final Four, and when she pulls up from 30 feet, the place erupts. It's not just noise, it's seismic. The energy shifts. Fans are already on their feet during warm-ups, going crazy over layups and logo shots like they just witnessed a miracle. The rafters shake, and mature adults sob as phones fly. There's confetti, goosebumps on arms, and energy in the air. The hearts of humans, every shot she takes, even if no one has thrown any yet, is a moment of shared suspense among hundreds of strangers bound together by amazement. She is the center of attention and the storm.
To show how much they're fans of Angel Reese, they won't put their money where their mouth is, a running theme with the Reese's pieces. And LSU, this person puts it perfectly. LSU, I'm calling y'all out. Angel Reese is back at home, and that should have been a sold-out arena. No excuses.
The game of Angel, to put it simply, the popcorn machine in the back sounds like a rock concert in comparison to the sound of a pin being dropped in the arena. It's not just fandom, it's veneration. Caitlin is the game that everyone else is just borrowing minutes from. Since Caitlin Clark has emerged as a cultural icon, the WNBA ought to compensate her for her dangerous work, for carrying the marketing for the entire league on her back. Angel, in the meantime, Reese is still attempting to determine how to turn TikTok likes into ticket sales. I apologize, but a hunger trap isn't a quick fix, and the media, oh, they've already made a statue of Clark in their minds. Angel is occasionally mentioned, usually in between a weather report and an advertisement for allergy medication. When Caitlin's name is typed through the headline banner trending tab Angel, autocorrect asks, "Did you mean Caitlin Clark?"